Welcome back, podcast fans. I'm your host, Annette Hines, and this is Parenting Impossible, the Special Needs Survival Podcast. Welcome to a new year. It's 2024, and it's really often that when I start a new year, I want to check in with myself about my why. Why am I doing this podcast? Why am I in disability services? Why? Why am I doing everything that I do and the way that I do it, the choices that I'm making? It's a good check-in as I set my goals and intentions for 2024. I have a lot to reflect on. Last year, I spent most of the year in reflection. I had an epiphany, if you will, about taking a step back from many of the organizations that I volunteered in, sat on boards, sat on committees, spent my time working with the funds that I donated. So it was all about where am I spending my time, my talent, and my treasure. That's a Catholic thing for those of you who recognize it. And I really felt like I was getting beat up, you know. Last year was momentous. It was, the year of the tens. So for 10 full months, I did this hiatus. I did this, this kind of hybrid stepping away from big portions of my life. It was my 10-year anniversary of losing Elizabeth. So there was a lot to reflect on there. It was my 10-year anniversary being married to my husband, Mark. And it was just over 10 years of starting Special Needs Law Group, which was the beginning of this journey for all of the things that I'm doing in the disability community. And there are others, but those are the biggies. And there was just a lot to think about and to, really get clear-headed about in order to figure out in 2024, year 11, for so many things, where is my focus going to be? You can do many, many things, but it's pretty darn hard to do them all well. And I'm not superhuman. So now it's 2024. Yay. And I've always been rejuvenated about the idea of, a new start, transformation. That's why I called my book Butterflies and Second Chances, because it was really about our story, me and Elizabeth and our family, but also a third of the book is about what happens after. And, I'm working on a follow-up to that 10 years later. What happens after is just as critical because you have a choice about what direction you want to go in with your life. You have a choice about where you want to spend your time, talent, and treasure. We are also fortunate to have these choices. So I used to have this friend that I grew up with in East Boston, and he was just a treasure and a joy to have as a friend if you're a little kid. So creative, so inventive, just a visionary in a lot of ways. And on the city streets, you would have these big manhole covers. We called them sewers. We used to play marbles on them. And he had this idea one year that if you stepped on a sewer, you could change your life. Step on a sewer, you make a wish, you change your life. And I still think about that today, so many years later, don't even want to tell you how many decades later, because the idea that you can just wish it into being, it's it's part of so many cultures. It's part of so many stories, so many movies. It's this transformative idea. Um, and even my symbol of the butterfly for Elizabeth, who I just recently saw another butterfly and she kind of danced around me. She always comes at these moments when I really need to see her, Butterflies are the symbol of metamorphosis, of transformation. And stepping on a sewer and wishing a new life, wishing life into being. Well, when we were kids, we didn't have a lot of control over our lives. So it didn't maybe necessarily work the way we wanted it to. But what it did do was get us into the mindset at a super young age of believing in the power of transformation. There is no end, no bottom to the need out there for accurate, helpful information and direction. And it all starts with helping people learn how to plan, how to set goals and intentions every year, and how to stay on that path so that they can be safe, so that they have access to resources like Social Security, Medicaid, housing, food, medical supports and services, whatever the need is. It's so much an imperfect system, and navigating it is incredibly daunting. But there is help. There is light at the end of the tunnel. There is your stepping on a sewer and changing your life and wishing it into being. You can take hold. You can take control of everything in your life and push for that security and that safety and that plan that will set you free. And so I wanted to give you this New Year's wish and talk to you a little bit about what this all means to me and hopefully connect with what this all means to you. I do want to let you know that this year we'll be having more group coaching programs. So if you are somebody that doesn't need a lawyer, but needs more of that information, support, and guidance that my client needed, that we are there for you in a supportive environment, a financially cost-effective environment, much less expensive than seeing an attorney, and really more appropriate to what most people are looking for, which is the consultation and the guidance and the support to develop a plan and take control of their lives. So I hope to see you there. I'll have some information in the show notes if you would like it. And I hope that you have the best year. Thank you so much. Our podcast is getting rejuvenated and back on track. And I'm so excited to be back here with you.